Yo, YouTube. Can y'all hear me? Yes, you can. What's going on, guys? Alright. Wow, that looks so fucking trippy. Oh my goodness, I just created something crazy. Y'all see that in the corner of the screen? That is an artifact on this channel, okay? But it's GZTV back with another video, and today we are going to be talking about the second episode of Season 4. We're kicking off Season 4 pretty strong with a couple of cool storylines. We're going to talk about this in the Dahmer, of course, and then I will probably stream on Twitch listening to new music. I really like the look of my old setup. It's so dope. We'll probably add some more lighting to the studio 1 second. There's a lot of lighting in here, but I mean, it's whatever. Still cool. So we're going to go through the plot, we're going to go through the critical reception, and then we're going to talk about Dahmer. So here we go. Jimmy McGill looks for a job while serving the suspension of his law license. So yeah, he needs something to hold him over. He needs something that will help pay for their office and whatnot. I know my room looks kind of like a mess in the background, but just pardon it for a few seconds. He interviews for a sales position at Neff Copiers and notices a collection of Hummel figurines in their office, and he knows that those kind of go for a lot because he was talking to this old lady. He has one of these clients that had these figures. This happened like a long time ago in the show, and obviously if you've seen this episode, you've probably seen that one. But yeah, these Hummel figurines. The owners show apprehension about his recent exit from the law and say they will get back to him after interviewing other candidates. Like, he is a former lawyer. He is going to get a job at any place he wants. I don't think that's necessary to have that on, is it? No, not really. Okay. Yeah, he starts to leave but turns back and makes an aggressive case to be hired on the spot. Like, can I please get hired on the spot? I'm a man of action. I need this to happen now. I need to hold it down. I've been suspended from the law. I need money and all that stuff. The owners are impressed and offer him the job, like, literally right there, like, fucking effortlessly. Like, here you go, here's the job. He then refuses, contemptuous at how easily they fell for his con. So, yeah, he's kind of testing people. He's kind of testing professions right now, seeing how easy it is to get a job. And apparently that is just how easy it is, and they show him. I mean, it's like, oh, wow, you're a former lawyer, you're hired on the spot, which, logically, that doesn't make any sense. But he's a lawyer. I understand them, but it's just like, what? How? Yeah. Lydia Rodarte Quayle meets with Mike Ehrmantraut to discuss his recent security audit, reminding him that his contracted consulting work for Madrigal was only meant to be a paper transaction to launder the money he stole. He cannot be seen exposed and in public with any of these people because they are if they crack down on Gus, they're eventually going to find out that Madrigal had something to do with Gus and he helped him with his employees and all of his guys. Like Tyrus, Victor, those guys probably worked or maybe still even work for Madrigal. So she doesn't want that to happen. These people can't be seen with Madrigal. It's not a good look. Pretty much what she's saying. Mike says the audits provide a plausible cover story if anyone questions the payments. He's kind of going with the act. That's kind of what Mike's purpose is here. I'm sorry if that light keeps flickering over there. Hopefully it's not too distracting. That thing's on its last limb. So who fucking knows what's going on with that? Yeah. When Lydia complains to Gus Fring, he tacitly approves of Mike's actions. It's like, dude, he's being smooth about it. He's making it look natural. I'm all for this. And Mike's really smart about this stuff. He's done cons in the past. He knows exactly what he's doing. So yeah. Howard Hamlin meets with Kim Wexler and Rebecca Boys, however you say her name, to discuss Chuck McGill's estate and how they're going to split stuff, what's going on with the will, who's getting what, that sort of thing. You kind of have to discuss that like quickly after they die so you can take action and it can be resolved. And there's just not money floating in the air because there's people out there that need this money. The bequests include a sealed letter from Chuck and $5,000 US dollars. I don't know why they included that for Jimmy, which Kim recognizes as a tactic that prevents Jimmy from challenging the will. So it's just one of those ploys, Chuck was using his brother all along. He didn't even like his brother to begin with, and this is just another example of kind of that whole idea. After Rebecca leaves, Kim furiously accuses Howard of treating Jimmy poorly to ease his own guilt about Chuck's death. So maybe Howard threw this in as a lie. Like, I don't think Chuck was even wanting to give him any money at all, and Howard was trying to cover that fact up, and make Chuck look like a better person, I guess. Because obviously they started a law firm together, so he's definitely going to be on Chuck's side here. That evening, Kim holds off on giving the documents to Jimmy. I mean, probably good, because it's a lot for him to handle. You know, he just went into a deep depression about this whole thing, and he's starting to lighten up, and then Howard has to bring up this idea of the estate and all that stuff. Suspecting from his previous knowledge that a Neff Hummel is worth thousands of dollars, Jimmy searches online to confirm his hunch, then calls Mike. He's like, look, Mike, I need you to do this job. We already kind of know what he's setting Mike up to do, for Mike to go into this copier place, take it, and literally them just rob them. I'm pretty sure that's what he's planning here. Gus learns that Hector Salamanca is comatose and arranges for Dr. Bruckner, a skilled physician from Johns Hopkins, to oversee his recovery. You know, Johns Hopkins is probably like the most prestigious hospital in the country. I don't know if that has changed since the show has been out, but it's general knowledge that Johns Hopkins does not mess around in the medical field. Like, they're on it. They have experts, I mean, with like fucking 4.50 million GPAs and in their med schools. Like, it's fucking insane. She speaks fluent Spanish and explains Hector's course of treatment to Lionel and Marco Salamanca. So the Salamanca twins come to console their uncle pretty much in hopes that he will be all right. Tyrus Kit brings Gus a copy of Hector's medical file, and Gus realizes that Nacho Varga tried to kill Hector. And Gus gets further confirmation. You know, he was suspicious of Nacho doing this in the first place, but now he's getting further confirmation. He's like, oh, yep, that explains a lot of things, type of thing. Nacho and Arturo arrive at the Los Pollos Hermanos chicken farm to pick up their share of the next drug shipment. So obviously, you know, Nacho and Arturo working for Salamanca, and Tyrus and Victor working for Gus. That's kind of the rivalry there. Arturo strong arms Gus's men for an extra kilo, as he saw Nacho do on a previous occasion, which Nacho is kind of reluctant to do. He's like, man, we cannot keep mixing ourselves in. Gus Fring is very dangerous. As they leave, Arturo brags about his success, but Gus ambushes them and suffocates Arturo with a plastic bag. So I'm pretty sure Arturo is now dead, and now it's just up to Nacho to help lead the Salamanca trade. It's not looking good. Salamanca's in the hospital, and now we have Nacho just like, what can you do? He then tells Nacho that he knows Nacho switched Hector's medication, but has not told the Salamanca. So Nacho is now under his control, so now nobody works for Hector. A lot of things have changed. You know, the Salamancas are going off the deep end, and now we're starting to realize where all those raw emotions came out in Breaking Bad. It's explaining a lot, which is really the beauty of this show, and what has always been the beauty of this show. A lot of things explained. Breathe received critical acclaim. You know, it got 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, 8.4 out of 10. Better Call Saul's exceptional ensemble continues its excellent character work in Breathe. IGN's another platform that likes to review this show, and they gave them an 8.8 out of 10. The episode was a sublime example of how an excellently crafted, extended scene featuring impeccable character beats can easily outshine the grit and grime of TV's natural tendency to wow us with shocking violence. So, and they're pretty much saying, like, putting violence aside for a second and actually focusing on a story, which is something I appreciate. But I'm out. I'm going to talk about Dahmer.